Oh, I'm trying to make my picture center. All right. There we are. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time of day it is for you when you are watching this video. Hello. Hey, who have I got with me? Hey, Mom. How are you? Thanks for joining me. So, I'm Catherine Oster. If you're watching this for the first time ever, hello. And this is Coffee Chat. Coffee Chat is we just jump on live and chat about things that come up in life. Today, the topic is called intimidated or intimidating. So, I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness, and these tools of from Access, inviting you to become more conscious in your life. Hey guys! Hi Rabia! Allowing you to consciously create things and change things in your life. So today we're talking about intimidated or intimidating. Now, being intimidated, there's so many different things in life. Hi guys, thanks for joining. For those of you watching this later on YouTube, I do these as a Facebook Live, and so I get a little bit distracted as people join me, but hey, how does it get better than that? Okay. There can be many different things that intimidate us in life. There can be different situations. We can find, hey dad, people can be intimidating to us. Animals, people can be intimidated by dogs, by horses, by any animal, a bear, all those scary things. Yeah, different situations can be intimidating to us. And so, what shows up when you get intimidated by somebody or something? Well, you feel scared. Usually, you're buying the lie. You're buying for some sort of reason, you're feeling scared. You are making yourself less than. You energetically contract and get smaller. You might feel worthless. You might feel like you're weak. And so in all of these different situations, we are giving our power up to somebody else or something else, whether it's an event, whether it's another person, whether it's an animal. We are giving that thing more power than us for whatever reason. Maybe something happened to us with a dog before, and so now we have this fear within us and we get intimidated by other dogs. And then you start to live your life from that. You maybe choose to not go to your favorite park because you have to walk past a dog. And then you start to rearrange your whole life based on situations, people, or things intimidating you. Hi, Lil. So, yeah. Money. Do you find money intimidating? Are people who have a lot of money or wealthy people, are they intimidating to you? One of my biggest aha moments with money, oh man, I found money so intimidating before I started using all these tools to change things and start to have money in my life. It was extremely intimidating for me. So when I first started as an entrepreneur, teaching writing lessons was my first kind of gig where I ran my own business part. And before that, though, I just had a job. Like the company that I worked for, I would get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I never had to ask for money. I was only ever given my wage, so there was just like a certain amount. And that was fine. I was comfortable with that. Money in that way didn't intimidate me. But when I started teaching writing lessons and I had to ask for money, that intimidated me. Plus, I had to decide how much money I was going to charge for those writing lessons. That also intimidated me. So many things came up. Am I worth it? Was the biggest one. And so I'll never forget. So most people, when I first started teaching writing lessons, most people would just pay me right away without me having to ask for it. But there was this one time, and I'll never forget it. This was probably a turning point in my life for me with money and being intimidated by it. Because I didn't even realize that asking for money intimidated me until this moment. And I taught a writing lesson, and it was my last lesson of the day. And so we were finishing up, and I'm kind of waiting around, making small talk while this person is getting their horse ready to go and just waiting for them to pay me, basically. But I couldn't get the words out of my mouth because I was really uncomfortable. I was intimidated. And so this person's getting their horse ready. They load up the horse into the trailer and they're just about to drive away. And I was so uncomfortable. I was kind of like, I was even sweating, nervous sweating, and I just felt sick. And I'm like, but see, the thing was I had such a lack of money in my world back then that I really needed this money from the lesson. Like I needed it to go and buy groceries. And my kids were really young then. Like I needed the money to get the things that we needed. And so that lack of money is what drove me to choose beyond being intimidated. And I spit the words out and I was like, oh, finally, how would you like to pay for your lesson? And I just felt like I was going to die when I said that. And the person, because there's so many things, I'm like, they're not paying me. And maybe I did a shitty lesson, but I'm like, but I need the money. And all this stuff is going on. And it was so crazy. I was telling myself all these stories. Finally, how would you like to pay for your lesson? And they were so apologetic. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hi, Colleen. I'm so sorry. I forgot, they forgot, I almost forgot, thank you so much for reminding me to pay you kind of thing. And so I don't remember. I think they gave me cash. But yeah. And that was when I realized, oh my God, I was intimidated. Having to ask for money intimidated me. And, in that moment, when I really realized that, I was like, you know what? Never again. Never again am I ever going to let having to ask for money intimidate me. Hi, Colleen. So, also, animals can be very intimidating to us, like horses. So I'm also a horse trainer, and I do the whole riding lesson thing. So when you're working with a horse, every horse is a little bit different. Some of them have bigger energies than others do. They have a bigger, more outrageous being, I guess, is a good way to describe them. They have big energies. Those animals are typically dominant type animals in the herd, and they are just loud, and they are like, boom, I am here. And if horses like that, they can be very intimidating to people, especially if you have a person who's just learning or they're more of a passive, submissive type of person. So that horse is energetically intimidating to them. So then they're clashing, and then the horse is totally... So the person, the intimidator, the thing that is intimidating you is actually in control of the situation. And so it's like, wow, because all of a sudden, their energy is big and they're like, and then you're like, oh my God. Hi, Yvette. And then you're like, oh my God. I'm just like, you totally lose yourself in the situation. You're being intimidated. And so much of it is actually just energetics. It's actually you, first of all, acknowledging what is intimidating you, and just choosing to not believe that you have no power. Because actually, if you're willing to own it, you have the power in your life to create or change anything. It just might not take what you think it does. And so, hey, Loretta. And so what's actually truly intimidating is no judgment. When a person shows up with no judgment, the space of allowance, you are like, hey, I am here, and you are owning it. That is fucking intimidating to so many people, because so many people don't know how to be with you when you are not functioning from judgment. Now, when you get to that space, you are intimidating, but you're not intimidating from the space of having power over or forcing or making people feel less than themselves. You're intimidating from the space of inviting other people to be their greatness too. And if those people aren't willing to choose their greatness around you, then they'll probably be intimidated by you and they might not like being around you, and that's okay. It's their choice. But where are you giving up the greatness of you because you are allowing another person, another situation, another event, whatever it is, money, to intimidate you into being small, into being contracted, into believing that you're weak? Would you like to change that? So, a part of this whole Access Consciousness journey is just running energetic clearings. So I do this program called the Daily Dose. It's like the daily dose of consciousness. And the next 30-day daily dose is starting on Sunday. And it's all about intimidated and intimidating. And so we run energetic clearings every day in the daily dose, your daily dose of consciousness. And those clearings start to open up a space for you to, for one thing, perceive when you're letting something intimidate you. And I say letting something because you have another choice, whether you're willing to acknowledge it or not. The clearings will invite you to notice that. And the clearings will also start to change that space so you can start to be different. And you can start to be intimidating. Yvette, let me see your comment. I need this today. This has been my lesson of late. Dealing with a mean girl, it's not my problem. I can't fix it. I have the power. Yes, you can fix it, but you have the power. Yes, such freedom. Okay, so let's do a little energetic practice, a being practice. So for those of you watching me live right now and those of you watching in the future, if you just want to close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath in and just notice your body, get present in your body, feel your feet on the ground, in your boots. If you're driving, don't close your eyes, but you can still tap in energetically with your eyes open. It's fine. And notice your knees, your hips, your torso, your shoulders, your elbows, the tips of your fingers, and the top of your head. And take another deep breath in. And energetically expand out to fill the space of your house or the building that you're in. And know that just by asking, you are energetically expanding. And any barriers, any energetic barriers that you have up, lower them now by saying barriers down, barriers down, barriers down. In all layers, levels, lifetime, spaces, dimensions, realities, universes, all those barriers down. Now, I want you to bring up a person, a situation, whatever that thing is, that person that's trying to control you through intimidation, anything that makes you feel less than you are, bring up that energy right now. Think of that person, put yourself back into that situation, and just lower your barriers. So any barriers that came up as soon as you thought about that moment, that person, that thing, barriers down, barriers down, barriers down, in all layers, levels, lifetime, spaces, dimensions, realities, universes, barriers down. And just stay present for a few minutes in that situation, bringing up the energy of that person. And expand your energy out even more. And energetically become more space. Become the size of the ocean energetically. Because when you are the size of the ocean energetically, that those raindrops hardly affect you. But the moment will you become intimidated by something, you feel that small tightness, you are contracted, and you are probably energetically less than the size of your body, and you are then affected at the effect of what is around you. But the moment you notice that, practice energetically expanding. Boom. Be this space. Lower your barriers. You are greater than you have ever been willing to know. From this space, you can affect. So that person, that thing that is intimidating you, that moment that you have no barriers and become space, you aren't a solid energy anymore, so they can't push you energetically like they were, and they don't know what to do with you all of a sudden, and all of a sudden it'll just be different. So just play with that. And you can bring up, that's a really cool way to practice that, building that energetic muscle, is just taking 5 minutes and bringing up that person, that thing, energetically engaging with them from this space before you meet them face to face again. Because then when you meet them face to face again, you will have already a sense of the energy you can be. All right. So if you guys want to take 30 days and strengthen this muscle and run some energetic clearings and have different conversations and ask questions, if you really want to dig into this intimidated thing, join me on the Daily Dose. We start on Sunday. It's $67 Canadian. Facebook Lives, you get all the recordings, and it also includes a group Zoom where you can jump on and receive personal facilitation with stuff that's coming up for you. I'll put a link with this video, you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you all so much. Yes, Yvette, I would love to have you, lady. That would be amazing. Okay. Bye-bye for now.